investigation was done professionally, I don't see anything why people should be querying the task force. But other part of the divide will also tell you that, well, how can I be sacked by a group of people, and that group of people were found wanting, and then you come again to, I come again to investigate that group of people. Maybe some will say foul play could happen there, but at the end of the day, the people who formed the task force trusted them, and so many Gambians also trusted the members of that task force, and they came up with a report.
Okay. Now, we'll be looking at the other press conference shortly, that is the reactions of the stakeholders. Yeah. But in the meantime, there was a day I was working in the state, and somebody whom I don't know just approached me and asked me, don't you think that the Federation and the National Sports Council could have worked in unison in trying to solve this problem?
Yes, you and I know that this is just like a husband and a wife. The Federation and the National Sports Council, representing the Ministry of Youth and Sports, should just be operating as a husband and wife. You should spend the night together, you should spend the day together if time allows, you should do things together. So I think they should work together. And in the recommendations of the National Sports Council, it is captured there. Why wasn't it captured there from the initial stage? That in situations like this, where a national team should be traveling, should be going out, they should work in consultation with the National Sports Council to get to this. And we also read on the task force that when the list of people traveling to Liberia was sent to the National Sports Council, they realized that the ages of the players was not captured, were omitted. So, and they raised the alarm to the Football Federation and asked them, why is it that their ages are not there? So probably the person who raised the alarm must have suspected that something is going wrong. So it was 3 days before the team actually moved. So I think within that 3 days, if a lot was done, we would have traveled with the right players. Because if you raise an alarm that, oh, why is it that the ages are not here, then you're suspicious of something. Now, if you're suspicious of something, insist, because National Sports Council have all powers to deny any national team from traveling, because they are using national funds. They are using state funds to travel. So if you know that when they travel, they will bring us shame and calamity like what is happening now, you should have stamped your authority to say, this team is not traveling until you provide me with the right ages, the right dates of birth of these players to know, to ascertain that this thing actually happened. So if you really read through the report, you will know that a lot could have been done to avoid this. Even before we traveled to Liberia.
Exactly.
You know, and even when we were in Liberia, because the same report also told you that when Ibu Seka made a call to Titao. Titao asked, you know, Kemo to tell Pasule to go to the GFF, but they said that time was odd hours. Probably it was around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I don't know, because those odd hours were not specified on the report. So, you know, if it concerns Gambia so much to that extent, whether it is 4 o'clock, the fact that you are called to go to office to go and verify this fact, you should go and verify the fact. Because if that fact was verified, we would not have been in this situation now.
Exactly.
So this whole thing, Modu, is frustrating, and it's leaving people without options, but just to say, hey, you know, let us. In fact, somebody said we should transform the Independence Stadium to a musical hall.
Anyway, there is a musical concert here today. Sisla and the others will perform there for the Roots of. I believe you'll be there.
It's part of my plans, but yeah, maybe I will go with you.
You want to go with me?
Oh yeah, if you're ready.
Then I'll be waiting. Well, if you are watching, we'll also be opening the line so that you could also have your say and call and make your contributions. We would like to hear from you, because your contribution can also help a lot. And when we say contribution, it has to be constructive contributions, because the purpose of this program and any other sports program is to make sure that we put our house in order and move Gambian sports, Gambian football forward. So we will open the lines very soon. Our technicians, Mustafa and the others, will scroll the numbers for you on the screen so that you can also call and have your say. But in the meantime, let's go with the reactions of the stakeholders on a press conference that was held, I believe, 24 hours after the minister suspended the executive members of the Gambia Football Federation. Let's hear what the stakeholders have to say.
Here before, the answer is an emphatic yes. The announcement in midweek by the Minister of Youth and Sports of the suspension of the President of the Gambia Football Federation and 3 Vice Presidents has triggered an avalanche of fury among majority of stakeholders in Gambian football. Their very way of expressing their feelings was staged through a hastily convened meeting of members representing football clubs and affiliate groups from across the country. The mood here is one of disappointment, and more critically a feeling of utter frustration, with members fearing the return to what they refer to as the abysmal 18-month cycle following the dissolution of the previously elected GFA executive.
If there is a problem within or outside the Gambia Football Federation, what the National Sports Council should do is to call all the stakeholders in football, the regions, the clubs, the allied association, to discuss with them and also to seek for their consent what is the way forward.
Others are more forthright in their assessment. Yahya Yabo represents the Interior Football Club, one of the many clubs pushing for a resolution distancing themselves from the decision to suspend the 4 GFF top elected officials.
If we want to move forward and we want to develop Gambian football, there are some individual differences and some grievances we have to drop ahead. At this point in time, what we experienced 2 years ago, if we want to go back to that situation, when are we going to stabilize our football? When are we going to be continuously normalizing? When are we going to stabilize our football? If there is a problem, CAF suspended Gambia for 2 years, and you want to create a bigger problem to be suspended by FIFA, and where we are benefiting a lot from FIFA. Are we looking for our individual interests, or we are trying to look at the interests of the nation?
This is said to be another contentious period in Gambian football, unless some form of compromise is reached.
It is important we sit as key stakeholders here and try to put heads together in order to avert what may be an unfortunate situation for our football. We witnessed the previous speakers talk about the former suspension that led to about 18 months of the normalization process. Actually, there was normalization. That's why when the FIFA performance team came here, they rated the Gambia Football Federation executive and the Gambia Football Federation as one of the best out of 42 countries in Africa. That means there is credit to normalization. And if anything that should come to put us again in such a similar unfortunate situation, this time around, I would not call that normalization, but rather denormalization, which it will be very unfortunate.
With stakeholders contesting a decision they refer to as unconstitutional, and one that they say can only serve to draw Gambian football into another mire. The signs are that we are nowhere near a swift and decisive resolution of the impasse. For Grts Sport, this is Babukar Sengon.
Babukar, Sang, you have had the stakeholders there. What do you make of their reaction?
They have all rights to convene this press conference and immediately gather the quorum they need, because if they have the required number of clubs and allied associations supporting them, that will hold more water. Because, but I only hope we are not going to the period of the normalization, especially towards the last 4 months of the normalization period, because you can remember those periods where, when one will hold a press conference here, the next moment another will hold a press conference there, countering each other's information, and it was not healthy at all towards the end of the show. We don't need those kind of things in our sports, because at the end of the day, they only help in dividing us. when sports is a tool that should bring people together. In fact, sports have been used to end war